Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Project Ready TV. I am your host, Angie Anderson-Moton, and it is such a great um, time having you here in our room. And we are looking forward to our chat tonight. But before we get started, as always, if you could share, like, and invite somebody to come and listen in to our Career Day Friday segment. It's a new segment that we have been exploring and having different people come on and explaining what they do, their passions, their love for what they're doing. So we will do the same things tonight, but I just want to make sure that you remember to like and share and invite someone to listen in. And I also want to remind you that our mission at the Urban League for Project Ready is to make sure that all of our students are graduating on time and that they're empowered to go out and they're ready for college, work, and life. That is our biggest thing here at the Urban League and Project Ready. And if you ever want to, still be a part, we can send you an application and we can do tons of things with you. Even in this time of COVID, we've done an excellent job, I think, of moving everything virtually. So we still have opportunities for you. So now that all of that is out the way, let's jump into our Career Day Fridays. Tonight we have Dr. Jorge Campos. He is from Sherman College and he is a chiropractor and he teaches there. And I am so honored to have you tonight, Dr. Jorge. Welcome to Project Ready.
Thank you so much, Angie, and thank you to everyone watching. Thank you for tuning in. I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Yes, so it's definitely an honor to have you here. We met back, at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, February, probably. I think. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We met at the Hispanic Alliance. They were having a career day fair. And we met there first, I heard about you there. Juanita actually met you, and she got your information, and then we met not too soon after that. And our conversation was absolutely amazing. And I'm super excited, students, for you to hear about his story and how he got started and all the amazing things that goes in with meeting Dr. Jorge. So let's jump right in. I would like for you to tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, well, my name is Jorge Campos. I am from Santiago, Chile. That's why I have this cool accent. If you're wondering where I'm from. And yeah, I live here in Spartanburg, South Carolina, close to Sherman College. And you can always find me at the park walking my bull terrier. His name is Morpheus. And yeah, we have a great time together. And actually, I don't teach here at Sherman, but I'm the connection between Sherman and our chiropractors and prospective students. So I'm kind of like a connector here.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, my title is actually the Director of ROAR, which stands for Reach Out and Recruit.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit more about that. What do you actually do in that particular component?
Well, I think we're going to talk more about it later, but I can just tell you briefly.
Yeah.
It has to do a lot with mentorship. We have a lot of chiropractors out there in the field that students, they go and they see the chiropractor, get adjusted by the chiropractor, and the student is like, wow, I really like this. So this chiropractor becomes a mentor, usually refers the student to the college, and if the whole process goes well, we actually give the student a little scholarship from that chiropractor, so the student can start his college career or her college career here with a little help from their mentor.
Cool. So you guys have heard a little bit about what we're going to jump into, but after telling a little bit about yourself, I would like for you to tell us like how you started, like a little bit about your upbringing, all the way up into like where you are now, like what kind of student you were, like all of that good stuff that we talked about a couple months ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I was, like I said, I was born in Santiago, Chile. I was actually born in one of the poor neighborhoods in Santiago, Chile. Poor, dangerous. I got to see friends getting involved with drugs. I got to see people dying at a very young age, and none of my family have ever been to college before. My parents, they didn't even finish high school, so education wasn't a big part of my life. And my parents, they're amazing. They took good care of me. They worked really hard. But at the same time, between you and I did not have that academic support. Not because they were bad people; they just didn't know how to do it.
Right.
So I was on my own, and because of that, all my high school years, I was this really loud kid, sometimes obnoxious. I would sit on the back of the room and making jokes and being real loud. Teachers that knew how to handle me, they would really love me because they would put me to do things. Right. The ones that they did not like me, they kicked me out of the classroom because I was just too loud and annoying. So I was that kind of kid, really hyper. So when I finished high school, I was honestly probably, I would say, like a B- student. But one thing that it caught my teacher's attention and sometimes my attention is that I never really studied. I was getting B's without even grabbing the books or anything like that, without even trying.
Wow.
So the potential was there. So I finished high school. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I worked several crappy jobs, and I was like, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like doing all this cleaning up and these little errands here and there. So I decided to give it a shot and go to college in Chile. While I was thinking what to do, I noticed that I really like the human body. I really enjoyed martial arts when I was younger, and also I played basketball too. So I liked the human body, and I wanted to work with it, but I didn't see myself prescribing medicines, doing surgery, getting blood out of people. So it's like, okay, I think physical therapy is going to be the path for me. And I applied for a physical therapy school, and I was pretty much almost done, ready to go. And during that time, I met a friend. His name is Steven, and I met his dad. Steven was in Chile serving a Christian mission, and his dad came to Chile to see the country and pick up his son because he was almost done with his mission. So that day I met the dad, and the dad was a chiropractor. And he started telling me all about chiropractic, and what really called my attention is that I'm going to show you a little prop that I have here. So we have the spine here, and I'm going to bring it closer to the camera, but you can see these tiny little yellow things, and those are the spinal nerves. So he explained to me how the brain communicates with the entire body through the spinal nerves. And this structure is so important that actually God created this armor, which is the spine, to protect it. And you have also your skull protecting your brain. So this is an extremely important system that nature literally put an armor around it to protect it, because this system controls everything: how you walk, how you breathe, how you perceive the world. Your nervous system is your perception of life. So when he explained to me that sometimes the spine is misaligned, you get something that is called a vertebral subluxation. Your nervous system is not firing properly, so there's an interruption in that area, and because of that, you cannot express yourself the way you would like to. You might have pain. You might have difficulty keeping your balance, moving, playing sports. So after all of that, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And after he told me about chiropractic, I got pretty sad. And he was like, why are you sad? And I said, well, because I live here in South America, and in Chile, there are 0 colleges that teach chiropractic. So I can't become a chiropractor, but I love what you do. So after we were done touring the city that day, Santiago, Chile, he talked to his wife, and they both said, well, let's make a deal. If you really want to be a chiropractor, you come and stay with us. We'll feed you. We'll put a roof over your head, but you take care of your schooling. So you're in charge of your own school. And I kind of laugh because I know how expensive college is in the United States. And I'm not a citizen, so I couldn't apply for loans or anything like that. But at the same time, it just got in my head, and it got in my head. And when the time came, I did not enter the PT program in Chile, and I started working for the Marriott Hotel in Chile, and I worked there for a full year. I saved as much money as I could, and I remember after buying my airplane ticket and everything, I arrived to the United States with $3,000 in my pocket.
Wow.
I remember I was going close to Sacramento, California, in a city called Chico, and I had enough money to make it to LA. Because the difference between flying to LA to flying to San Francisco was like, at the time, like $500, and that was a lot of money for me. So I remember arriving to LA and then catching a Greyhound bus to Chico. But I made it. I stayed there. And here's an important point that I want to make. I didn't have my friends. I didn't have my family. These people were amazing. They were my new family. But what I'm trying to say is I did not have distractions. And because I did not have distractions and I was focused on this new goal, I became an A student. And not only an A student, I became an honor student.
Wow.
So my first semester, it cost me $2,000 because they charged me out of the state tuition. I was an international student. So during that semester, I was also working. So I was able to save another $1,000. So when the second semester came, I pay another tuition. But then when the third one came, I was short like $1,000 to pay for my tuition. So then I brought in my grades, and I talked to people at the school and said, look, this is me. I've done all these extracurricular activities here at the college. These are my grades. I am an honor student. Please help me out. Like, otherwise, this is the end of the road for me. And they had this little council, and they decided to give me I wouldn't call it a scholarship, but they pretty much charged me in-state tuition, which is pretty much a scholarship. And I was able to finish my community college there. Then it came the time to get my bachelor's, because since this is a professional program, many states also require a bachelor's degree. So I was like, okay, I have no money for my bachelor's, but I believe God is going to help me. I'm here for a reason. So I went to the library. I got a book this thick with 5,000 scholarships. And I went one by one. And in 4,998 scholarships, you either had to be a U.S. citizen, from Puerto Rico, or from Mexico if you were Latino, if you were Hispanic. There were only 2 scholarships available to me from 5,000. So I sat down, and this is the other thing, like, any other person going through maybe a scholarship number 2,000 would be like, okay, I'm done. But no, I went through the entire book. And because of that, I applied to 2, and I got one. So I got accepted to go to Texas A&M with a full scholarship. And I was able to get my bachelor's degree from Texas A&M. And finally, when chiropractic school came, I wasn't a resident or a citizen in the United States during the first semester. So I did have enough money, and I paid for the first semester, and then I tried to work and do everything else, and I just couldn't. I was done. So I finally got my residency, and I applied for student loans, and I did the last part of my education with the student loans. But the point that I'm trying to make here is, like, while I was during that time that I didn't have my loans or anything like that, I remember, for example, cleaning the John Deere factory, because I went to Davenport, Iowa to school, and the John Deere factory is really close to that area. So I used to go there at night and clean up the John Deere factory. Also, during 4 years, I could not see my family because if I paid for an airplane ticket, I couldn't pay for my tuition. So I had to make that sacrifice, and I couldn't see my family for 4 years. And I used to go to the plasma centers to sell my blood, to sell plasma, to have extra money to eat. So many times people say, that cost me blood, sweat, and tears. And honestly, my education to become a chiropractor, I had to do that. I was sweating cleaning that factory. I cried many nights because I couldn't see my family, and I bled. I sold my blood in order to eat. So that was a big sacrifice, but was it worth it? Absolutely, and I'll do it again and again, because I truly believe that when you find a passion in your life, you definitely got to go for it. Like once you have that thing that is telling you, this is how you're gonna help the world and make this world better, you got to go for it, and you got to get rid of all that interference, all those distractions. That's the only way to do it. Otherwise, I would still living in a poor neighborhood in Santiago, doing who knows what.
So how are you, where are you in your career now? Tell us a little bit, what are you doing? Are you practicing?
I had the blessing to practice for 10 years in Chile. I had an amazing experience, and probably we can talk more about it later. And right now, I am not practicing because I'm working full-time here at the school. I love this profession so much that I took this new stance that I'm trying to bring people into the profession. At least check it out to see if you like it or not, because it's been so good and special to me. I tell everybody, everybody has teeth, so everybody needs a dentist. Everybody has a spine, so everybody needs a chiropractor.
Right.
And I'm trying to teach people that and bring students into the profession so they can experience the joy that I had experienced as a chiropractor. So right now I'm not practicing. I do have a license here in South Carolina. I'm seriously thinking about doing community service because I love my profession and I kind of miss taking care of people. But it would be more like service than actually opening an office or anything like that. But so I'm here at the school, inviting people over to check it out.
Well, good. That still sounds exciting, and you're still doing what you love doing, just in a different way.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about how you actually got your license. At the end of your courses and your studies, was a state test?
Yeah. So when you finish your chiropractic degree, you gotta take, it's called national boards, and you gotta take 4 parts of national boards. They're pretty hard. Quite a few people fail. I was blessed enough that I'll take that back. I did fail one. And actually, I do have a nice story about that. I took part 3 and part 3. No, I took part 1 passed. I took part 2, and part 2 had 7 tests, and I passed 6 out of the 7. And then I took the part 3 and I passed it. So, but because I failed 1 test on part 2, I still remember that I couldn't take my final test on November 14, 2008. Why I remember the date so vividly? Because my daughter was born on November 14, 2008. So and that tale that I failed, I made really dumb mistakes that I would never do in my life after I went over it. So honestly, I feel that was the way that God prepared for me to be there when my daughter was born, because otherwise I would have been taking a test when my daughter was born. So, So 3 months later, I took it and I passed it, no problem. So that's another thing about sometimes when we fail, we get frustrated, we give up. But sometimes failure is there to teach us a lesson, and not even teach us a lesson, to give us a better opportunity. Yes. In this case, I was able to see my daughter come into the world. So I'm extremely happy that was the only test that I failed in my college years.
Doctor, I think you're preaching to us tonight. Yes, I love it. I love it. You have so many great stories, and you're able to tie them back into your passion and what you're doing, and you just your love for people. You have such a heart for people, and
I
you can
do. I
feel
do.
that when we speak. So I appreciate that. So
Thank you.
kind of shifting gears a little bit. So we've talked a little bit about our mentorship program, what we do at the Urban League, and then I would like for you to talk a little bit about how you feel about mentorships. Did you have any mentors? Are you a mentor? And then kind of tie back into the ROAR program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the answer is yes. Mentorship is extremely important in my life. Just think about it. I became a chiropractor because of a mentor, because this doctor in South America said, you know what? I want to guide you. I want to take care of you and help you through this process of becoming a chiropractor. So that was one of my first big mentors. The president of the school here, Dr. Cordero, he's an amazing human being and a good mentor too. I am learning a lot from him too. And I'm not saying it because he's my boss, but he's a truly amazing human being. So the thing is, many times in life, we try to do things on our own, which is good. But sometimes you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Like the wheels are already there and you just don't know how to roll it. And that's when a mentor comes in and helps you. A mentor is able to see your talents and improve those talents. Like those are your talents, but the mentor is going to help you and guide you so they can even flourish even more. Right. So mentorship is crucial. So people who are thinking about becoming mentors is something so special. And at the same time, to the mentee, it can change that person's life. So mentorship is really important to me. And I do have mentors, and I plan to having more mentors in my life. Absolutely.
Good. How can people follow you or get in contact with you if they're interested in the school or just learning more about being a chiropractor? How can they?
We have a Facebook page. It's called Sherman College Admissions, and you can find us there on Facebook. And yeah, I mean, you can write a message for me there, and I will definitely see it. You can send me an email directly. My email is jcampos@sherman.edu. So that's really easy to remember. Okay. And and I'm definitely here to help in any way as possible. I'm here to help as the ROAR director. So if you want to come check us out, I can help you with that. If there are some projects that you need my help as a chiropractor, I do have a license here in South Carolina, so I can help you with that too. Okay. So like you really said it in a nice way. To me, life is about service. And when I find true happiness, it's when it's shared. Like I can be happy on my own, watching a movie, laughing. But if I get a friend with me to watch that movie and laugh with me, that to me is true happiness. So when I'm sharing what I love, is when I'm happy. And I love chiropractic. So if there's any way that I can help, either with my knowledge or my hands, I'm more than happy to help. Awesome.
Do you have any final thoughts for our middle or high school students tonight?
I do. I hope that my story resonated with you. You might be maybe the first person in your family thinking about going to college. You might get rejection. You might get attacked. Your friends or even relatives probably will make fun of you because you're trying to do something different. And when you're trying to do something different, you're going to be criticized. I was criticized because I didn't see my family for 4 years. And it's not like I didn't want to see them, but I had to make a choice. And I'm glad I did it. So many times in life, you're going to be criticized when you're trying to do the right thing. And the more they criticize you, you have two options. You are doing something terribly wrong or you're doing something terribly right. So that's when you need a mentor to figure out what you're doing. So it's important to have a mentor, especially at a young age. But it's time to break the cycle. You have the chance to break the cycle. You have the chance to break the cycle of poverty, the cycle of ignorance, the cycle of like feeling frustrated that you cannot have the life that you want to have. you have the chance to break the cycle, and it's on you. There are lots of people that love you and care about you, and they're here to help you as mentors. But the final touch depends on you, and you have that power. I broke the cycle, many cycles, and yeah, and people that criticized me before, they are now my friends again. And sometimes people that they never became friends again with me, and it's okay. I did not need that kind of people in my life. So what I want to say is that I wasn't a super smart student. I was a nice student, and I became an honor student. I was poor and humble in a really difficult environment, and I got out of I got out of that environment thanks to education. So if I did it, if this poor kid from Chile did it, you that are here in America with a lot of opportunities and a lot of people that love you, you can definitely do it. You can do it.
Thank you. We could go on and on and on. We could talk all day because your story is so inspiring, and I hope that, and I know you will have touched the heart of our students and even the adults that's listening. There's always room for everyone to grow and to partake in many different opportunities, and that's what you really told us tonight. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. And if you find a mentor to help you or people in your community, great. But even if you don't find that, if you put your mind to it and hard work behind it, it can definitely get done. So I thank you for joining us tonight. And I can't wait to come visit and tour the college when all this COVID stuff is out of the way. But I thank you again for sharing tonight. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for the invitation. And anything you need, I'm right here.
Thank you. But before we go, I would definitely like to remind everybody to follow us at the Urban League 864 on Facebook. And if you would like to also join us on our YouTube channel and catch any of our segments that you might have missed, you can definitely catch us on our YouTube channel at Project Ready Urban League. The Urban League of the Upstate, Project Ready GVL. So that's where you can find us on our YouTube channel. And I have definitely enjoyed my time with you. And I will hope to see you again later on this week or next week. And I hope that you take care and still remember to wear your mask, social distance. And if you need us at the Urban League, please feel free to give us a call or email us. Again, Dr. Jorge, thank you for being with us. And we definitely will see you later on. And until then, my name is Angie Anderson-Moton, and I have enjoyed my time with you. Good night.
Thank you, guys. You have a good one, too. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Jordan Branham. Listen, I need you to get connected with the Urban League of the Upstate. You're like, why? Well, I'm going to tell you why. It's because you need to get registered to vote. We see everything that's going on in our country right now. We see stuff that has happened locally in our own community. And because of that, we need to make sure that our voices are being heard. Today was the primary election. But, you know, we also want to make sure that we're involved in the big election. And so if you need to get registered to vote, you got questions about voting, whatever it is, I need you to get connected with them. They're getting ready to put together another event to get people registered to vote. Connect with them, like their Facebook page, and show up, get registered, and then show up and go vote. We got to do whatever it takes to see a change in our community, okay? So go to the Urban League of the Upstate Facebook page, like it, get some information, and get registered to vote. God bless you, and have a great day.